Hey, Eagles fans, this is your spot. Non-Eagles fans are welcome as well. You know this is the spot where we talk Eagles. But today, one of the topics is going to be off the beaten path because we're going to talk about the PFF quarterback rankings and give our thoughts on the rankings for, of course, our one and only Jalen Hurts, but as well as the other quarterbacks that are listed, where they're listed, and what do we think about that? Also, on top of that, we had a guy decide that he didn't want to play football no more, so he left. All good. Spit happens, you just swallow. Also, last week we talked about the offense, the depth charts, and all that. We're going to flip that around, do the same thing with the defense. Right? I mean, it's off season. We also have a little OTA talk. We had a couple of days of OTAs, so some people stood out. Some people looked like they didn't belong. Much early, of course, but hey, if we don't talk about what's happening now, then how y'all gonna know? That's what we're here for. Before we go any further, it's time for me to get some people in the building. First off, my man Wyatt. Wyatt, what's good?
What's going on? Cool. What's going on, Eagles Nation? I'm excited to get to what we're talking about tonight. Lots of stuff going down. First off, I want to give a shout out though to old Benny Boom. Got the fresh fitted hat here. Got it in the mail yesterday. How do you know I had to rock the Benny Boom when he drops a new one?
Yes, sir. I got the throwback Benny Boom. I wasn't able to get the new Joan yet, but I still repping the Benny Boom all day. And also in the building, looks like they got their Benny Boom as well. Eagles Diva, what up?
What's going on, Eagles Nation? Yeah, mine came in the mail about 2 hours ago. Appreciate you, Benny, for the hat. Appreciate all the Eagles gear. Ready to talk some Eagles.
Y'all already know. Look, we're going in depth on some stuff tonight. So we're gonna start off with just, like we do, we little breaking news and stuff. We off season. So why decide we're gonna do in the off season? We ain't even gonna put up the tabulations. We ain't even gonna put up the topics. Off season, we just gonna rock it. When the season starts, we gonna put them up. So you come around the off season, you're just gonna see sometimes 3, sometimes 2, sometimes 5 people just talking. Tune in, you'll figure it out. We got a smart fan base. A lot of people don't like us, but we got a smart fan base. I met some more people that didn't like us today. But guess what? We still don't care.
Exactly. Anyway, no one likes us. We don't care.
Never have, never should. We not Carl Thomases. That's not our fan base. So, start with you on this one, Wyatt. Any news or rumors about the Philadelphia Eagles that you would like to discuss? Of course, you got a main one. Any other ones?
I don't have anything else really other than the main one that you kind of alluded to in the introduction there, which we're going to get to here in a minute. I haven't really seen too much else out there, though. It's been quiet on the Philly front.
Let me see any news or rumors that you want to talk about. Maybe let me open it up correctly.
I ain't heard no rumors. No news.
Okay. So, there's always rumors. So, biggest rumor, and this ties into OTAs, but biggest rumor is that something is going to happen soon with James Bradbury IV. He is no longer going to be a member of the Philadelphia Eagles in 2024. So that's a big one. Another rumor that I've been hearing is there's a possibility that the Eagles can put together a package to kind of go after Jonathan Allen of the Washington Commanders due to salaries.
Ooh.
I don't think that one's as likely to happen, but it could.
Mm-hmm.
There's also a rumor that we could do something with a team that we love to trade with, and that would be the Titans for Treylon Burks as a possibility for our number 3. Now that our number 3 decided he didn't want to play football anymore. So just a couple of the Eagles rumors that I've heard of. You guys have any thoughts on those rumors?
I'm all for getting old Ballberry out of here. We got a stacked CB room as it is right now, and it's looking like he's kind of the odd man out, even though with Howie Roseman kind of hyping him up every chance that he can get. Maybe he's just trying to kind of hype him up, kind of get people interested, maybe make a trade.
I mean, that's the only thing that I can think of is that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
Because I don't think he believes that hype.
No, nor should anybody.
But any thoughts on any of those three rumors?
No, just the Bradbury rumor. He need to be gone. I mean, because the other rumors, you just gotta wait and see. You never know. But Bradbury definitely need to be gone, which I know they talked about that, but we wasn't for sure if he was gonna be gone or not. But he needs to be gone.
Mm-hmm.
Missing OTAs today, so maybe that's a sign.
I would I wouldn't be upset if that were to happen, right? There's no part of me that would be mad if that were to happen. I will also say I like the idea of adding Jonathan Allen. The reason I like the idea of adding Jonathan Allen is big, strong guy, can hit that line hard, help shore up the defensive line rotation. Because in a 3-4, those linemen really need to be able to take breaks because they're getting hit more because there's less of them. So I think bringing a guy like Jonathan Allen would be great. I also think Treylon Burks would be an excellent addition because we don't have DeVonte Parker anymore. And you can feel how you want to feel about DeVonte Parker. You can believe he wasn't this, he wasn't that. But he was enough to be slated as the third receiver. So when you lose that guy, yeah, we signed some other guys. Paris Campbell's in that role as of now, but has Paris Campbell ever been anybody's number 3 receiver? And keep in mind, this man came from Indianapolis, where there was a best way to put it is a deficit of playmakers at the wide receiver position. So my thing is just, hey, bring in more competition if we can, if it makes sense. Right? Go out and get another guy if we can to make sense. If it doesn't make sense, then we'll rock with what we got. I mean, you don't want to give up the form, but if you can make it work for both sides, and Howie's really good at this part, the drafting part we kind of question, but not the making moves part. So this is when we say Howie, work your magic. See what you can do. Maybe you can get rid of a James Bradbury in this deal. Maybe you can get Bradbury out of here and get Burks in. Because I know Tennessee does need some help at the cornerback position. But before we move on, we're going to hop in the comments here. So we got Philly in the building. Philly, what up?
What's up, Philly?
Appreciate you watching. Appreciate you checking in with us as well. Old Man Mob says, how we doing tonight? What's going on, old man? And also he says, I know 2 wide receivers the Eagles can have for cheap. Juju and Thornton. Could get one of them for a 6th or 7th round. I thought about that. I like Juju better for the slot. You can move him around a little bit because he doesn't have the same speed as some other guys, but he's got the height. And his best production is when he's either in the slot or when he's not the main receiver. And he would be the number 3 here. So wherever you move him at, he would be the least focused on. So he'd have that third corner or maybe a linebacker. So I wouldn't mind having him as a guy to be the third. Old man says, take him, please. Well, you know what happens a lot of times? We get these guys that really weren't ever number 1, and we treat them like a number 1. And then when they don't play like a number 1, everybody says they suck, but they never were a number 1. Juju was never a number 1 receiver. Juju really has been best as a low-end number 2 when he was across from CTE AB or when he had 2 other good receivers on the field. So yeah. I feel you, old man. If I have your team and your questions at the quarterback position anyway, I want to get rid of Juju too, honestly.
Yeah, he talks like he's a number 1, but we all know he's not.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I would not mind for a 7th round pick bringing in Juju. But we'll see, if that's something that, can work out.
I'm good on that, man.
Hey, 6th or 7th, I'll bring him in. If he can't cut it, just cut him. Yeah. All you lost was a 7th round pick. I can live with that. Old man says Juju was brought to New England for wide receiver too, and he couldn't do that. We need more young wide receivers to get snaps. I agree. I wouldn't have made Juju my number 2.
Nah.
Yeah. He's a 3 or 4. But sometimes you have to find those things out through what that person specifically does and not necessarily what you've seen so far. So, a little bit crazy. So while we're there, we might as well go ahead and talk about the quote-unquote elephant in the room, DeVonte Parker. So DeVonte came out. They decided to retire. Wants to spend more time with his family.
Heard this before.
Yeah, the first time I heard this, I thought, why don't you go ahead and take old country boy with you, old big play with you, because he won't go spend more time. His family too. They don't want to get hit. They want to be able to play with his kid when he retire, live, say, lie. So he could have went on to, to be honest, come on, man. But after the pettiness stopped, I was like, it makes sense. I feel like, and this is the question I'll pose to you guys. Anybody watching the chat, you can answer this question too. Do you think that he saw the writing on the wall and realized, I'm not going to be the number 3 here? Heck, I might not even be the number 4 here. So if I can't make it here, I might well go ahead and go home.
Man, listen, he got on that field with DeVonte and AJ Brown now, and he was like, "Oh no, I can't keep up with these boys. I can't do this. I can't do this, y'all. I got to retire." I think that's what that was. Because boy, you should have retired as soon as the Patriots cut you. You should have been gone.
Yeah, that's what you
tried
wanted
to come over here and see what it was like, and then you was like, "Oh no, I can't hang with them. These routes too crazy for me. I ain't about to be breaking my ankles and tearing my ACLs."
Well, at least, but he wouldn't have been playing on the Giants field, but once a year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Listen, you can't do them DeVonte routes or them Smitty routes. You hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think not only that, but I feel like even if like he didn't cut it here, if we released him, I think he knows that no matter what team he would have went to, he would probably been fighting for that 3rd spot or a 4th spot. Like he knows he's probably not making a start and lineup in most of these teams now.
Yeah, and I also think he just didn't really have it anymore.
Yeah.
I think he just realized it's not in me anymore to go through training camp. He was around for 9 years. That's a long time. And we talk about all these guys that play 15, 20 years. The average NFL player plays 4 or 5 years. So this was a long career, honestly. So he was around, came to this new place. He figured out how things was going to go. And he's like, whoa, y'all mother suckers is crazy. I ain't with this. I'm going to go ahead and just take my bag and I'm going to go home. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to deal with the fans. I don't want to deal with the media. I don't want to deal with this other stuff. And I ain't really in it no more. So I'm going to holler at y'all. And honestly, I ain't mad at him. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have it in you no more, go home. You hear that, Slave? You ain't got it in no more, go home. If you show up, come to play. If you don't want to play, go home. That's what you're supposed to do. I can respect it. The timing is trash. But at least you ain't go to the season not wanting to play.
Yeah.
You gonna say something, Wyatt?
Oh no, I was just saying I respect it. I respect him going out on his own terms. Instead of what was it? Who was the dude that retired mid-season for the Bills? It was right after a game or during that game, he just walked
during
out.
the halftime of the game. My man,
he's like,
he recently passed away too. Rest in peace.
I saw that. That's crazy.
Yeah, but yeah, it definitely happened.
We don't need one of those.
So we got a couple of comments. We always have people that have strong opinions, and I love it. Benny says Juju is a bum, and Parker noticed he couldn't complete with the Young Bucks. Dang, Benny, why you gotta be a bum? I think he could be a 3. You know what I'm saying? Benny, you be hard on the boys.
I'm just
because they used to hype Juju up though.
Yeah, I mean he wasn't what they hyped him up to be. I mean that's true.
I never liked him. I wasn't really a fan of him before, but after that Super Bowl, I really don't like TikTok boy.
Yeah, when he was starting doing all that TikTok stuff, I was like, man, somebody gonna slap you, bro.
He was right though. I gotta give him credit about that, about the whole James Bradbury situation. You kind of right about that one, Juju. I was hating on you at the time, but he was kind of speaking facts.
Old Man Bob says, and of course he's talking about DeVonte Parker. He realized that after how he gave up and blamed everyone other than himself for doing it, he knew he wasn't going to get all of his way in Philly. He says he got it with the Dolphins and Packers. I mean, Patriots. I don't know why I said Packers. Patriots. He was used to being on bad teams. He knew if he went to Eagles, it would be much pressure on him and he would get the blame. And he says Davis, he played for the Colts. He did, yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it depends. He could have had kind of like a similar like Julio Jones type role for us, possibly if he decided to stay.
Yeah, and I think that's the difference is, remember when we brought in Julio, you know what I'm saying? Like Julio didn't come in training camp. Julio came in like week 5 or 6.
Yeah.
So he kind of got to miss all that that mess.
Julio,
I mean, but Julio deserved to miss that. Julio was playing for Atlanta Falcons forever with, was balling out until he started being injury prone. So I mean, he deserved that.
Oh no, I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying the difference is Parker didn't want to have to go through that training camp because training camp, everybody says the OTAs and training camp is a BI to go through as a player. So you've been around 9 years. You're like, I don't know if I got this in me no more. I just go into the crib, take it to the house.
Mm-hmm.
And them Philly OTAs is a little different prior to New England.
Yep. And then Benny says Juju pissed me off when he played with the Steelers. He didn't step up when AB left. Benny didn't step up because he's not number one. I think a lot of times we look at these cats, and this is just across the board. We look at these cats and we say, this dude should be this dude should be that. But the dude never been that. You know what I'm saying? If a dude show you that he's not the nice dude that you thought he was, ain't no need to continue to be mad at him. You just realize, like, yo, everybody tried to say that Juju could be a number 1, he can't. They try to say he could be a number 2, he can't. Maybe he's a number 3. If he can't be a number 3, then you might as well follow DeVonte Parker on out the league then.
I mean, I think with Juju, when he was with the Steelers at that time, like they had a well-rounded team, and a lot of times, you know what I'm saying, your in talents can get hid when you with a team that's a really good team and that coincide together. And I think that's where everybody thought he could be a number 1 because of what he was, but it wasn't just him. You know what I'm saying? And Ben was able to set him up on certain plays, and sometimes you only got one quarterback that can set you up and kind of bring out your talents. But after that, that's it. Like, you see a lot of them cats coming in NFL. You see them with one team and they be balling out, and then they go elsewhere, and you be like, bro, what happened?
Right, because it's a system. You're good in the system, not necessarily a great player. You're good in the system.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I give props to guys like AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, and several other guys throughout the league. Jamar Chase with his time coming. A lot of guys is like, look, this is what works for me. I'm staying here. Y'all can go out and get 30 bands, 30,000 a year, 30 million a year, to play wide receiver on some trash team. I'm gonna say where I have a chance, I'm gonna take a little bit less. Where everybody gonna be talking about I'm trash every day. Because you got there with one of these bad quarterbacks, you look bad. Ask Devontae Adams, you look bad.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then we got our boy Rod in the building.
What up, Rod?
Rob says, what's up? And then old man Mob says, for me, Bill gave Parker and Juju the money to get back at the Crafts. People can say what they want, but there's heat between them. Plus, Kraft forced Bill to take Mac Jones. Maybe he did.
Mac Jones.
Mac and cheese at this bitch.
If they took that and made him take mac and cheese, that's on them for doing it. You know what I'm saying? And when Bill a little mad, all the cheating that you did together, you shouldn't even be mad.
So should.
You should be happy. Y'all should be saying, come by y'all. Because Robert Kraft ain't going to do nothing but go to one of the places to get a massage where they sex traffic women anyway and get away with it. So that's all that's going to happen. Benny says, honestly, it's all about him screwing up my fantasy points that year. Hey,
Benny, I don't know why you had him on your fantasy. No way. I don't even doubt, no, bro. That's why you picked that trash up. That's on you, player.
Benny. Hey, if you want to trust your team to Juju ever.
Can't do it. Won't do
I
it.
got to blame you.
Can't do it.
I can't.
Can't do
understand
it.
why you may personally be mad with him,
Won't do it.
Benny, but you gotta look in the mirror and say, I did it to myself too.
That's all
Like, you gotta take some self responsibility. You know what I'm saying?
Man, you should trade that bum for somebody else. I don't care if it was somebody less than him. You would have done better.
Gotta be someone on the waivers better than
Yeah.
Juju.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody's third wide receiver drafted would have been better than him. So Ryan says, "What's up, guys? How is OTAs going? We're gonna get into it in a minute,
We'll
Ron.
get to that, my brother. Just hold tight.
Absolutely. Old man Mob says Bill wanted Parsons to trade down and get Davis Mills later on. Well, if he did the second one, that would have been worse than what really happened. Just to be real with you.
Oh, long neck.
Benny says I got stuck with that button. No, you didn't, Benny. You clicked that button. You said draft by
chose
Jesus
to keep
Smith
that bum.
name. You clicked that button. You can't blame it on nothing but your own button click, Benny.
I mean, unless he had on auto draft. I mean,
And if
still,
you had
I
an
would have got rid of
auto
him then.
You should have. I would have dropped him or made a trade.
Still
like
drop
automatic.
him, trade him.
Yeah, I would have dropped it for somebody's third receiver, bro. Old man Mob said Kraft might be upset that he has to pay when Bill doesn't.
Might be.
That's a possibility. And then Stu says Juju off the beat. What up, huh?
What up?
You know what I'm saying? All right, so good people, we about to hit them commercials real quick. We're gonna come back through this piece and we're gonna start talking. Make sure y'all ready. OTAs on deck.
Rams fans all around the world.
It's a beautiful thing to be a Rams fan right now. Stafford's back. We will see about Cup. And running back Kerryon Williams to a return.
Lend me your ears, or should I say lend Playmaker your ears, as he breaks down week by week everything in the Los Angeles Rams canon.
Number 99, Aaron Donald. Can't wait for 2029 to come to know that you are going in the Hall of Fame, and it should be first ballot, no questions asked.
Join the Playmaker as he breaks down everything Los Angeles Rams style in Ramily Talk on the Playmakers Blog Network YouTube channel and where you can find podcasts. Join Ryan McCarthy.
I became a Jets fan because Kurt the Frog was my favorite Muppet because he was green, and the Jets wore green. That's how I became a Jets fan.
And Dustin Henry.
ESPN is cashing all in on let's pay a few personalities and we'll just kind of fill in the gaps.
As they walk you through all of the world of sports from their perspective.
The Albany Empire, it's a literal circus.
No credentials required. Where, Ryan, say the tag.
Where you don't need a press pass to talk sports.
Live every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central on YouTube and where you can find podcasts. Oh, yes. The tradition, the pageantry, the spectacle, the history, the slut. Wait. I gotta rep my brother's stuff right. All my DMV soldiers, stand up! And welcome to the Commander's Gridiron Report. You want your commanders to be repped right? Well, D. Willie is your man. Commander's Gridiron Report. Every Tuesday at 11:05 a.m. Eastern, 10:05 a.m. Central on the Sotoba Media YouTube channel. Music by J. Cool.
All right, good people. So it's time to get into some OTA talk. But before we do, I will accept this. Benny says I had too much Henny that day. I will accept,
That's all excuse.
I will accept that. He says the beauty of living in Philly and working in South Philly, my job is 10 minutes away from the NovaCare complex. We get to see the players going to practice. Okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah. You know, people like me very jealous. You know what I mean?
Right, me too.
Guess what I get to see?
The Carolina
The
Panthers.
Idiot of him. That's what I get to see. That's what I get to do.
You got to see Bryce
Bunch
going
of
to
sad ass
OTAs.
players walking around.
Yeah, I don't even see Bryce because he's like 5'5". You know what I'm saying? I
Hey,
look
he bigger
around,
than
I don't even
Kyler
know
Murray.
there.
He taller than Kyler Murray, though.
With hair he is. But I will give Bryce one thing. I saw some pictures of him the other day, right? Because you know, all over the TV they talk about it. He has bulked up some, so he doesn't look like a JV starting quarterback anymore. You know what I'm saying? So that's a good thing for the Panthers. So congratulations, guys. He finally put on a few pounds. Say he didn't put on more than
that might be a good thing, but that owner trash, yo. Like, I think that's gonna be his downfall. Like, for real.
Hopefully the GM is good. And the new coach has a little bit of a say. And the owner's kind of realizing that let me leave the football to the football people. If he up that Jerry Jones in him, it's a problem.
You should know that he went into a Charlotte business and asked about the sign they put up and asked who put the sign up about the draft. Like, nah, he's Jerry Jones 2.0.
Well, he's very sensitive. He's Carl Thomas. You know, we talk about Carl Thomas. He's in that Carl. No, he is. Everything hurts his feelings if it's not the success he wants. So, you know, he's gonna do those things. My only question again is, are you gonna leave the football to the football people? You want to go run around and complain about size, that's fine. You want to whine, that's fine. But when it comes time to make the football decisions, are you going to allow the football people to start making them or not? Now,
I'll say it when I believe it.
I don't know that he's not, but I'm just saying that's what will make the difference.
I'm just glad I'm not a Panther.
Rodden start asking about players 2 days in the OTA.
I mean, dang. Why are you worried about us?
He's got his eye on Johnny Wilson. He's like, wait a minute.
Why are you worried about us?
You know why he worried about us? His wife is the Eagles fan. That's why he worried about us. Happy wife, happy life. I know she couldn't have been happy at the end of last year. That's why Rod on here like asking questions. Like, he's trying to figure out what's popping.
He's like, please, you guys got to be good this year. Come on,
yeah.
now.
He's like, yo, y'all can't collapse this year. I can't have another year of this. You know what I'm saying? Benny says, Bryce might do a tiny bit better this year.
Tiny bit.
I mean, can't do much worse. Still can't do quarterback sneaks. He didn't get no taller. Rod says, will Johnny Wilson make the team? It's to be determined, Rod. All jokes aside, it's to be determined
now.
He got a real good chance now.
He has a better chance. That is true. Once a guy quits because he's scared, then you have a better chance. He did quit, so to be scared. So, you know, a little bit of a better chance now. But OTAs, my good people. Any highlights, any low points you guys want to discuss from OTAs?
I didn't catch him. I've been real busy, but I ain't catch him. I just seen like maybe 1 or 2 highlights. I mean, it looked good so far, but
yeah.
OTAs
I saw some
look
of
good.
the clips out there. Jalen looked like he got the juice. It looked like he's fully healthy. It seems like he's got that speed back to him. I saw a couple of the plays in the OTAs where he was just, you know, faking the handoff to Saquon and then running on the outside. And it just looks like he has that speed back. Like he got them jets, because we all know that he wasn't like fully healthy all last season. He didn't look right. It seems like he's kind of right back to where he was. It seems like he's fully 100% now.
Yep. So, you know, a lot of overreactions. We always get this. Kenny Pickett apparently looks really good in OTAs. So let's hope that we don't get a whole bunch of tomfoolery about Kenny Pickett because he looked good in OTAs, because we don't want that.
No, we done with that kind of nonsense.
Obviously, James Bradbury sees the writing on the wall. He's not going to be a part of this team, and he's not going to be a starter, right? Then we got players that weren't there. Josh Sweat, DeVonte Smith, Lane Johnson, Keely Ringo, and Bradbury didn't show. I think the only one that really notes in anything is Bradbury. Josh Sweat, this is it, right? This is his chance to show that he deserves another job somewhere else. They redid his contract. It's a 1-year thing. It is what it is. They're not signing him.
Yeah, just prove it. You got to do
right.
something.
Yep. Apparently, EJ Jenkins, our second round tight end, he got deep touchdown pass from Tanner McKee on Andre Sam. And then Lou Nichols showed up. So Lou Nichols is kind of like the fourth running back. Right now, it looks like, of course, Saquon, Kenny Gainwell, and Will Shipley will be the top three. Lou Nichols may be the one that convinced them to keep 4 running backs. He'll have a ways to go to make that happen.
Lord have mercy. Just get rid of Kenny Gainwell.
Devin White looks fat.
Ain't no way.
N'Kobe Dean still mending from his injury.
Lord have mercy.
Avante Maddox will be moving around on defense.
And he don't need to be in. He get hurt too much. He need to stay at OTA.
Yeah, I saw that Isaiah Rodgers and Slay were on the outsides. They had Vontae at nickel and CJGJ and Reed Blankenship at safety.
Mm-hmm.
They also had DeJohn back there at return, bringing back some kick returns as well.
Yeah, him and Kobe were the kick returners, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to say that Kobe will be the starting slot receiver. I'm gonna say this right now: if they make Britton Kobe a starting slot receiver, watch this episode.
Yeah,
I mean, really.
Yeah, watch that episode.
Kobe needs to stay on the kick return. That's it.
Kobe needs to stay on the practice squad.
That's it. That's all. I mean, he did good last year, and surprisingly, he did look good last year on the kickoff return. But that's it. That's all. No wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Isaiah Rodgers didn't have any rust. We kind of talked about it. A couple of pass breakups look good. So some notes and things happening in OTAs. It's always good to see. Jalen Hurts looked good. AJ Brown looked like AJ Brown. Other guys were getting opportunities because
fast.
Yeah.
That boy is ridiculous. You hear me? That boy's a cheat out. You hear me?
Yeah.
He coming back for everything he lost.
He's physical, like he's just dangerous.
And you dangerous when you can play on both sides of the field like that, left and right.
But I did see the rookie Nias Smith. This boy can play.
That's what I'm saying. Might be coming for that third spot.
He can play running back and wide receiver. And he may be somebody to kind of be a dark horse to look at, for that third spot. So
possibly use him as like a kind of like a Debo situation.
Leave it to Rod. So Rod says, happy wife, happy life. And then y'all win. My one arm got me looking like Popeye.
Dead, yo.
Rod's stupid, yo.
He is. Benny says, yo, Rod, just know that Johnny Wilson is a project, and if we can get a better wide receiver coach, he'll be all right. Then he says, I don't think Sweat will live up to the hype of his contract. Well, Sweat's only got a 1 year. They redid it. So after this year, he's a free agent. I think him being a free agent is the best thing for us. You know what I'm saying? Because it gives us the opportunity to be able to just be like, hey, it is what it is. Deuces. We'll holler at you, don't holler at us after this season.
Benny brings up a good point, though, about getting a new wide receiver coach, because it's crazy how long Aaron Moorhead's been here. It feels like.
I mean, if we're being fair, we've got some really good years out of really trash guys with Aaron Moorhead here. Yeah. Right? I know everybody wants the shiny new thing and, oh, this person would be a better OC and all that. And I mean, a better wide receiver coach and a better this and a better that. But it's not always what's best. My thought is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. He's found a way to kind of have in my opinion, the best wide receiver duo in the league
Yeah.
work together,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if that has to happen, and maybe a guy that's a project on the end, it's like the sixth receiver, doesn't make the team because of it.
I mean, I think he's done all right with the receiving core that we've had. I mean, some of the guys who didn't make it is because they didn't want to make it, like Quez Watkins, Aguilar,
I told
Ortega
you was coming
Whiteside.
to
When I
Quez.
tried to say that a long time ago,
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's where the question comes into play, is like, is it the players or is it just the development that we have as far as these young wide receivers go? Because
I
like
think
we
it's the
know
players.
Smitty was going to be good. He, Heisman winner and everything. We knew AJ Brown good when we were trading for him. It just seems like some of these young guys we bring in to develop, it seems like they always end up falling off, and it's hard to determine what the cause of that is.
Man, listen, if you look at some of the other teams they went to, it's them. It was all them.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah. Right. All right. So Rod says, "How was your project running back too? It
Oh, you
still
talking about
can't game
Shipley?
well, sir.
Can't game well.
It
Still can't game well.
Game well.
Yeah.
You mean no game well? We don't know. We really don't want to know, but we're forced to know. Probably gonna be the same way he was last year. No game well.
Please, God, no. I can't do it. Just
Please let
hearing
Will
that.
Shipley just take
I
a
just I
spot.
hope Shipley's number 2 and he's number 3. That would
I hope.
too.
I haven't even seen this dude in Eagles uniform yet, and I want to see Shipley over Kenny Gainwell.
Yeah. So Rod says, "I don't want to see GA." Sam, what up, Sam?
Sam?
Sam says, "I like more. I like Moorhead. I like Moorhead too."
He's all right.
He says, "I don't want to see Gainwell or Dingleberry."
I don't either. I want to see either one of them.
Gainwell. I don't even want to know who Dingleberry is. I'm just going to
Ballberry.
say,
Ballberry.
All right.
That's a good nickname for him too, I guess. I never thought of that one.
Dingleberry, Ballberry.
I didn't want to think of that one, but Benny says it's his job to develop the players, so tell who has Moorhead developed. You know what, Diva? I'm gonna let you have this one.
I mean, he's developed a lot of players. I mean, of course, like I said, Aguilar didn't develop. I mean, most of the wide receivers that we've had, I've seen them develop. I mean, it's too many to name because we've had a lot of them. But you see the ones that didn't develop are the ones that went to other teams and still ain't doing nothing. So you can't blame that on him. You know what I'm saying? It's also up to the player to develop. Like the coach is there to help you, but you as a player have to develop. Like Smitty developed. Like he went out there every day when he was in college, when he wasn't catching that ball, and stayed on that field and practice on off and on season to catch that ball. So it's also up to you. You know what I'm saying? Like he's developed a lot. Up to you.
What do you think? You got any thoughts on that, Wyatt?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. Just like what David said, there's been so many damn receivers that have come through here. And I think a lot of it does have to do with work ethic, like going way back to like Dorial Green Beckham when we trade for him, due to him being funds, because he just didn't have the work ethic. He didn't want to put the work in to actually make it as a top wide receiver for the squad. But I mean, you do have some of the mainstays that were here for a while that actually like kind of made him name for himself, like Greg Ward, who was with the organization for a while because he was good at what he did. I mean, he only had a limited amount of what he could do, but he did it well. And it seems like it also comes to how do we utilize these guys as well and kind of play them to their strengths. So, I mean, it's kind of a mixed bag. It's hard to determine whether it was a coaching thing or if it was the player. But like what Diva said, I mean, it seems like it's mostly the player because these guys are going out and doing nothing. I mean, Travis Fulgham had an amazing 6 weeks for us or whatever, 5 weeks, and then went on to do nothing. And they were saying his work ethic was terrible in practice. And he didn't want to commit, didn't want to do the hard work. So, yeah, I mean, I think it could be a little bit of both. I think there's more evidence too that these players just don't want to do the work. As opposed to Aaron Moorhead. I was just bringing up as far as conversation because it seems like he's been around here for quite a while. He's outlived a couple coaches. As far as, I mean, was he here before Dougie P? How long? I know he was here when Dougie P was here. Was he here before Dougie P?
I think Dougie P brought him in.
Dougie P brought him in. Oh, so he's been here for like what, since 2016, something like that. 2013, 2016.
All I'm gonna say is I'm just gonna put it like this: it is your job to develop wide receivers, Benny, if you're the wide receivers coach. But if you give me trash, I can't. All I can do is maybe make it not stink.
What am I supposed
can't
to do?
turn trash into a treasure.
Right.
And I think that's
I got 2 left feet.
I think that's what's been happening. I think some of the guys we drafted this year are good. I think Joseph Ngata, I think once he does get an opportunity to play, I think we'll see a better version of him because he has been training and developing. And from everything I've gotten from the organization, he is working to become better. That's what you need. Like Diva said, you got to have guys that want to do it for themselves too. The coach can't say, hey, you got to go out here and learn how to catch the ball. You're in the NFL. If you can't catch the ball, figure it out. You have access to the facilities 24 hours a day, 7 days a week in all season too.
Mm-hmm.
You have access to other coaches on the offseason that can help you develop your game as well, if you want to take that option.
Yeah. And it's easy for us to blame them too when we have the top 3 receivers is like what Nelson Aguilar, Greg Ward, and Travis Fulgham at one point in time. Whereas like if none of these guys are doing anything, you're easily going to just look at the wide receivers coach like, what's going on here? Why aren't these guys playing well? Why aren't they in the best position they should be? Why aren't they running the routes right? Like what's going on?
Well, as we see, that was just trash.
Yes, Dry says James Bradbury's trash. That's true.
Yeah,
we know.
Facts, Rod.
Then he said, so tell the truth. He's a bum to get him out of here. Look, I'm just cracking some jokes because I'm tasting tonight. You really cracking some jokes, guys. So then Stu pops up and says, we can have Ocho Cinco coaching the wide receivers.
Man,
I'll
be okay.
I don't know if that would be good or not. But what I will tell you is they will not take no mess from their women if Ocho Cinco is coaching them.
They're gonna be eating McDonald's for lunch every day.
Rod says, I hope Cooper DeJean doesn't act like the other Cooper.
I doubt it.
Why you got to bring that guy up, man? I thought we were past the time of mentioning the other Cooper.
Riley Cooper, Lord.
Benny says, preach.
I thought we were finished with this guy.
First of all, just know Riley was a pickup. All right. He played elsewhere before he came to the Eagles. Okay. All right.
I'm surprised people remember who Riley Cooper was.
I try not to because it was a sad time.
It was.
You know that name. You know it.
And you don't want to know it. All right, y'all. So we're about to switch to the next topic. We'll go ahead and hit another quick commercial break. Stay with us. We still got a lot more to talk about.
Whether it's news, the largest egg producer finds bird flu in chickens at a Texas plant, weather, devastating tornadoes rip through the heart of the United States, inspiration, a breast cancer survivor completed the journey of chemotherapy and now begins a future one of matrimony or sports. Michael Jordan is shown on a photo with Diddy. LeBron James has a video extolling the virtues of a Diddy party. This has been yet another beating a dead horse presentation. We got you covered. BS3 Network proudly presents The Morning Shift with Cole Johnson. Live every weekday morning beginning April 29th at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central.
This is Greg, and you're watching Shady Sports Network. Tune in, hit that like button.
You might wonder, what do these guys do? Player signing announcements. I never in a million years thought you would actually come on to break this news. So without further ado, go ahead and tell everybody what happened today.
Yeah, man. I just had to work out with the Cincinnati Bengals. Signing me right out.
Without further ado, I'd like to announce that, I'll be taking my talents to Salina Liberty.
This just in, the Major League of Football is reportedly collapsing, unable to pay hotel room bills, with players being kicked out of their rooms and hotel managers asking them to leave voluntarily without issue.
Drew Willingham.
In this case, you put the blame on Kyle Shanahan for apparently not preparing the team enough for the overtime rules, supposedly.
Cole Johnson.
Peyton was considered a winner, and
He was the darling of all darlings for Gerald. With a special appearance by Tyrone Alizé McDummy.
Ain't nobody calling me. Text delete, 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 delete.
Join these two football enthusiasts as they give you Total Football Talk. Live every Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central on the Sertoba Media and the Comey Media YouTube channels. Whether it's the men's college game,
The way that this season has been going, yeah, anything is possible.
the women's college game,
And how passionate Ancient Reef was at that press conference, they got their mojo now.
the WNBA,
AJ Wilson on Twitter 1 and 2, followed by Brittany Griner, Aaliyah Boston, Jackie Young.
or the NBA.
The Lakers had a 0.8 chance of winning. And then what happened in the fourth quarter? LeBron James by himself outdid the Clippers.
You will get any and all of the information right at your fingertips or your earlobes. Join the Playmaker as he breaks down all things basketball in Shooting Lights Out on the Playmakers blog, network, YouTube channel, and where you can find podcasts.
All right, good people. Appreciate y'all rolling through with us. And we back. So Benny is actually leading into our next topic, which is the defensive depth chart and what's been happening with the defense this offseason. So he says, yo, did y'all see how Jordan Davis slimmed down this offseason? I hope he stayed that way and his conditioning is better. So I saw him in the full outfit. I liked it, definitely liked that he slimmed down, but I want to see what the muscle looks like, right? Because you couldn't really tell that in what he was wearing. And the reason I say that is I don't want him to be so slim that he's not able to be that gap stopper. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That guy that we brought him in to theoretically be. I know we needed to drop some weight from last year because clearly they're going to have him moving around doing more things than what he was originally brought in for. And if you look from year 1 to year 2, he lost a lot of weight. You know what I'm saying? So this isn't the first time. It's just that he didn't have as far to go to look like this now. So I like it. Matter of fact, I love it because it shows that he's trying to improve his body and be in the best shape that he can to help our Philadelphia Eagles, you know what I'm saying, be a good player, be a good team, by him being a great player on that team. So all four with it. But we're definitely going to talk about him a little bit more as we go through the defense. All right, so on defense, we'll start with defensive end. Right now with defensive end, our starter is Milton Williams. His backup is Moro Ojomo. And then Gabe Hall, new addition to the team, is the third string at the moment. And nose tackle, we have two right now. Jordan Davis is the starter, and PJ Mustipher, who we brought in free agency from New Orleans, is the backup. Now, defensive tackles where things get a little interesting. So we have Jalen Carter as the starter. We have Marlon Tupeludo as his backup, and then Thomas Booker the fourth. I was about to say Booker T. Thomas Booker the fourth as the third string. So, why start this one with you, then Diva? You follow right behind him. Thoughts on the defensive line, the depth, and any of the players that you have, any specific things you'd like to discuss?
Yeah,
I mean, the information again.
No, you're good. I got it up here. I think we got some decent depth here. I mean, Milton Williams, I think he's been consistently getting better each season. Now it's really come to the time where he has to show up and has to show out and show us what he's really made of, since he's going to be most likely a starter on the defensive line now. Moro Ojomo, we've seen different things from him last season when we had the chance. He made a couple decent plays. The big things we're going to be looking at is Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter. I mean, we talked about Jordan Davis a little bit, how he's slimming up. Jalen Carter is also getting a little slimmer as well. He's working on his conditioning. He's been working with Vic Fangio a lot, trying to figure out what he's going to be doing this season, because we saw how gassed him and Jordan Davis were through the back half of last season because of how much they had to play. They're obviously trying not to get to that point again right now. So, I think it's all looking up. I mean, Jalen Carter had a very solid rookie season. I mean, it did dip off a little bit, but I think he's going to have an amazing second season here, especially with a defense that actually kind of knows what it's trying to achieve and having different looks out there and being able to do different things. I think it's definitely going to help both of them out, not just Jalen Carter. I think both of them is going to be it's going to help them out big time. And Marlon Tulipaluto, I don't know too much about him, or he was here last year, right? Or did we pick him up in free agency?
Yeah, he was here last year.
Yeah, I mean, from what I remember, he had a couple of decent plays whenever he was able to get in. Same with Maro Jomo. I really don't know too much about PJ Mustipher, though. But it seems like we got some decent depth here, though, finally. And I mean, like you were saying, as far as rumors go, we may not be done as of yet. So I'm fine with more depth for the defensive line as much as we can get.
I feel. Do you have any thoughts?
I like it. I think maybe with Vic Fangio, us actually having the blueprint, I think we might see more of Ojomo and Tupeludo. I think that he probably will know how to place them to their strengths more better than the mock-ups that we had that were supposed to be him but wasn't him. But definitely happy. Milton Williams did really well last year. I expect to see him progress even more this year, especially under Vic Fangio. Jalen Carter's already said he loved Vic, so I guess that's a good sign. So I do expect a dominant season from him. Jordan Davis, that's my boy. I know that's one of my favorites. Him and Jalen Carter. I'm glad to see he slimmed down. I guess he got tired of being body shammed. But I guess y'all forget that boy still got speed, whether he was big or little. Boy still got speed. Now he was in the NFL draft combine and he was fat, and he was balling. Okay. But I don't want him to slim down too much because we needed him to be that stopper. You know what I'm saying? That weight was helping him to be that stopper. He wasn't really getting thrown around like that. But I think the strength will come through now. I think he'll have more muscle and he'll be able to be conditioned a little bit better than with him having the body fat. So he'll have more, I think he'll get more muscle going on. I don't know too much about PJ Mustipher either. Maybe we'll see him. I mean, he's a depth, so maybe we'll get to see him some this year because we all know last year just defense was just trash. I mean, it started off good, but it was trash, and they really didn't know how to play the player to their strength. So I think Vic will learn, will know how to move these players around and not have them, all out there on the field at one time like we had last year where they playing the whole fourth quarters and just gassed out. So I'm excited to see, especially PJ Mustipher to see what he got. If not, he got to get up out of here.
So from what I've read and saw for PJ Mustipher, he's going to be the perfect backup for Jordan Davis. He's a guy that can come in. He's not a guy that you want in all of the game, but he's a guy that can come in spurts and give you some aggressiveness, give you some strength. He can attack. He can do all the things that you would want from a backup. From what I've seen so far, I haven't had a chance to do extensive research, but I had to look into him a little bit because I know who we bringing in. You know what I'm saying? Because we are very picky. I'm very displeased once the season starts if we ain't doing what we're supposed to do. I mean, Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, really last year was literally both of their first full season because Jordan Davis missed like 6 to 7 games, maybe 8 his rookie year injured. So this was the first time to really get that, that rookie learning curve out of the way and hit the wall. So definitely expect more out of both of those guys this year. I love Milton Williams because he did it the right way. He came through the system. He learned. He developed year over year over year, and now he's getting a shot to see if he can get that payday or not. So we'll see what happens. Then we'll hit linebacker next, y'all. So we'll go left outside linebacker. Bryce Huff is the starter. Brandon Graham is his backup. Jalix Hunt is the third string, and Julian Akwara is the fourth string. Jalix Hunt was our third-round draft pick this year. Left inside linebacker, Nakobe Dean is the starter. Jeremiah Trotter Jr. Shout out to Jeremiah Trotter Jr. for getting his dad's number 54. So we're going to see a 54 Trotter out here on the field again. I love it.
It's going to be awesome.
Yes. Zach Bond is the third string left inside linebacker now. And then Brandon Smith is the fourth string. All right. Then we go to right inside linebacker. Devin White's the starter. Oren Burks is the backup. Ben Van Summeren is third string. Now, right outside linebacker is where a couple people go get chopped because we got like 5 people on the depth chart right now. we got Josh Sweat as the starter, right? Then we got Nolan Smith as the backup, which I'm glad to see that he's like on that backup line now. So we should be seeing more of him than we did last year. Mm-hmm. Patrick Johnson is the third string. Teron Jackson is fourth string, and Terrell Lewis is fifth string. So I like the starters. The starters say a lot about who we're going to be, but I like the backups even more. Brandon Graham, Jeremiah Trotter Jr., Oren Burks, and Nolan Smith Jr. I like that foursome as guys who could be interchangeable pieces. You get somebody hurt, somebody's not playing well, somebody's gassed, and you need to put someone else in who has the ability to still play similar to them. We don't have that. There's been years past where we had like 4 linebackers. So we're actually putting some money, some effort, some time into building a position that we have taken advantage of and not used properly for a long time. And push comes to shove, you could even put Brandon Graham on the line if needed to be, so he could kind of have a little versatility there. So I like it.
Yeah.
Jalix Hunt, third string. He's a guy to watch. My curiosity is if he can take somebody out of one of these linebacker positions and get him that second line, or what's going to happen with him. Is he going to be one of those versatile backups? It's curious to see what's going to roll on that end. And Diva, I know you had a couple things to say there, so let's get it. What you got?
I mean, I like it. We know Brandon Graham is not going to be, playing a big role because this is his last year. So I like the lineup that we have. Ready to see what Bryce Huff gonna do out there for the Eagles. Josh Sweat, of course, we'll see what he do. Love the whole Jeremiah Trotter Jr. If Nakobe Dean can't stay healthy, then I'm sure he will be right on up that scale. Hopefully we'll see more Ben Van Summeren. I don't think we saw too much of him last year. But yeah, I like it.
What about you, what?
Yeah, I mean, for a linebacker, a position that we haven't really put too much resources in, really ever, as far as Howie Roseman's been the GM. It's nice to see that much depth here and a lot of ability to plug and play when we need to, especially with the way Vic Fangio runs this defense. Like you said, I think it's a decent starting lineup. The real question mark is, who is Nakobe Dean really going to be in the NFL if he's able to stay healthy? What is his ceiling? But I mean, I like to see Jeremiah Trotter Jr. right behind him, because it seems like they can be swapping out throughout the season. Nolan Smith Jr., I mean, he had some decent plays last year, had some sacks. Seems like he has the ability to be a stud. We just haven't seen too much of him because they didn't really give him the chance to go out there and make something of himself. Same with Ben Van Summeren. Like, I know Diva said that we haven't really got to see too much of him, but what we did see of him, I mean, dude hits hard. You can definitely tell he was a young blood out there, making some mistakes. But I mean, he kind of reminded me of like a linebacker version of Reed Blankenship, just the way that he just throws his body around. Hard hitter. It seems like he's kind of at the right place at the right time when he needs to be. He's a guy that I would like to see a little bit more of as well. But I mean, it's a stacked linebacking room, so I don't know how many chances you're going to be able to get unless they're really rotating them. But it's solid depth. I like to see that many bodies on the linebacker chart.
Yeah, absolutely. It's wonderful to see. So Benny says, tell me you didn't just say that. Tell me Cool didn't say Booker T. I was about to. It was getting there. I saw Booker and I saw Thomas, and I'm like, 5 times. But yeah, wrong stuff. My bad. Benny also says Milton's going to have a breakout year. Believe me on this. Oh, I definitely believe it, man. Like I said, I'm all for it. I hope he does it. I hope that that's where things go, because if so, that gives us another dog that's been part of the team for a while to throw up there with the two young studs. All right, so time to go to safety and corner. So at safety, now we've got some changes that I like. Strong safety, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, CJ GJ is back as a starter at strong safety. Sidney Brown behind him. I like that 1-2 punch. Free safety, we got Reed Blankenship and Mekhi Gardner. We do have other guys, but there's a method to this madness. Quinyon Mitchell looks like the right cornerback right now. James Bradbury is his backup. And then at nickel corner, Cooper DeJean and Avonte Maddox is his backup. Then when we go to left corner, we have one big play slate. We have Keely Ringo behind him, and then we're going to hit the threes. So at left cornerback, Isaiah Rodgers is the 3 on the depth chart. And we know that that's not what's happening, but I'm just telling you that's what's on the depth chart. Andre Sam is the 3rd strong safety. Tristan McCollum is the 3rd free safety. Eli Ricks is the 3rd right corner. And Tyler Hall is the 3rd nickelback. Now we'll go to the guys I think are going to have a hard time making the team unless they move up. And that's Josh Jobe at left corner, the 4th string. Zach McPherson, the 4th string right corner. Mario Goodrich, the 4th string nickel corner. And then Sean Stevens, the 5th string nickel corner. So I think automatically, if you fall behind number 3, you're probably up out of here. You know what I'm saying? That's the end of the cornerback position. So you see like Zach McPherson, Mario Goodrich, guys that were hurt, but didn't play a lot last year. And Josh Jobe, who should have definitely been cut, all up here. Like, all right. So I look at this. James is already, Bradbury is already number 2. Right. So I think you're going to have him move out. So maybe then we get like an Isaiah Rodgers sliding over to the right because he can play either side and being a number 2 there, or maybe Ringo slides over, Isaiah slides up behind Darius Slay, whatever happens there. I like Brown going back to the 2nd strong safety because he played well before the injury last year, but now we've got to give him time to get back in and get himself kind of remade it to the guy that he became before he got hurt. We're a team that unfortunately has a lot of injuries, so depth is going to be important, and it looks like we're working on good depth across the board. Why don't I go to you first on this one?
Yeah, I mean, seems like we're trying to take CB real seriously this year. They saw some of the trash we put out on the field last year and before. So, I mean, it seems like they really wanted to go out and get some depth here. And I mean, I like a lot of the names that are on here. We went out, got Quinyon Mitchell, of course, Cooper DeJean. And of course, we also have like Eli Ricks, Keely Ringo, and, Isaiah Rodgers. So you have a decent amount of depth with just those players right there. And then you even have guys behind them that have the ability to possibly step in if you need to. So, I mean, that's not a bad position to be in. I mean, the safety, I think it's going to be a huge benefit for Reed Blankenship to be with CJ GJ here. I mean, Reed Blankenship played pretty well until he seemed like he got banged up, and then it could have just been a result of him being banged up, of course, with the defensive mess that we had last year. But I think with the leadership that CJ GJ has, I think Reed's going to be learning a lot under him, especially like the physical play that CJ GJ how he plays. I think that's going to be a big, huge benefit to for Reed as well. But I mean, it's a lot of depth. Like we were saying with like the defensive line and everything, I think they're finally taking this defense seriously as far as building it up for not just this year, but for years to come. Like they want a solid defense they can kind of hang their hat on for years to come and build off of and add pieces to. That way they're not scrambling like we were this offseason to try to fill some of these holes. Through the next couple of years, we're just kind of got like guys just kind of plug and play and have those dead set dudes that are going to be in there as starters or backups. So, I mean, this is a perfect position to be in.
Yeah, absolutely. Diva, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I like the depth at the CB position all the way around. I don't want to see nobody getting burnt because there should be help underneath and over top now. You got enough, definitely. All right. So I want to see balls being popped out left and right here. All right. And I'm gonna be honest, I think that's when we saw the best of Reed Blankenship when CJ was here year before last because he was playing with him. He was hitting hard, I think, and then he was able to cover CJ's spot when he had that kidney injury for a while. So just bringing CJ's energy back to the defense, I think, gives us a lot more juice than what we had last year. We have a lot more depth, so should nobody be out there by themselves, not knowing who they covering. Somebody better cover somebody. If your boy ain't covering who he's supposed to, you get out there and cover for him. Something. Okay, because we got enough depth now to cover the holes that we had last year, especially when it came to the corner and a lot of people being able to break free and get those long touchdowns and things of that nature.
And that
I
donut
like
hole
it.
in the middle.
Yes, that donut hole in the middle. I don't want to see that at all this year. Which I don't think that Vic Fangio is going to let that happen. But we definitely need depth because if you're gonna keep Bradbury, Slay played good last year, but I mean Slay old in the game. He's been playing for a while, so he needs to be rotated out. He don't need to be out there the whole 4 quarters out there by himself. We already know Bradbury definitely need to have somebody to come in behind him because he can't be out there. He just can't. You might put him out there for the first, maybe the first quarter, take him out, let him sit the whole second, and then come back third if you're gonna keep the boy on there. Because I'm telling you, I don't know what's going on, but I'm just glad we got depth. So we should not be struggling at all on that defense, especially when it comes to the corners, the safeties, and the linebackers. Period. And you got the linebackers covering a lot more.
She said, "Take that man out.
Take that man out. Let him play 1 quarter, sit the next, and play the next, and sit the last. That's how it's got to go for him. Straight like that. That's it. That's all."
All right, so BMX Beak in the building. What's going on, BMX? Appreciate you tuning in with us. He says, excited to see Bryce Huff and how Trotter Jr. applies what he learned and learns from his dad. Heard he's very field smart and disciplined. Also, Hunt will be used in coverage sometime as well. He also says, Sidney Brown at strong safety is sensible. I feel like it would be a no-fly zone season with the youth adding speed and physicality to the secondary. The whole defense is in general use. Speed, coverage. I like that. Definitely agree.
Tackle.
And then Benny
Bring
says,
these guys to the ground.
Keep
Please.
Is communication. Yes, we have to get just defense overall, but to their defense, and I'm not big on defending that trash we saw last year. But when you don't even know where you're supposed to be, how can you tell somebody else where they're supposed to be?
Right.
Yeah. On both
We
sides.
shouldn't have that problem this year. Yeah. Shouldn't have that problem this year. This year we got coordinators in there. Whether you like their style of play, once you see it or not, it's going to be the style that we're going to use. It's not going to change mid-season. We don't have anyone that's flying in to save us. And hopefully, we're going to go with Nick Sirianni for now. Nick Sirianni is the hype man like he was 2 years ago. And we're not expecting him to actually go out there and do much on the coaching end. Hype people up, give game balls, answer questions, give you a little 2 cents that nobody cares about, and then move on. So, guys, before we take our last break and then come back and talk about this Pro Football Focus quarterback ranking list for the quote-unquote starting quarterbacks, any last thoughts that you guys have on the defensive depth chart? Or, I did forget to ask this question earlier, if you want to throw this in there as well. What do you think is going to happen at that third wide receiver spot now that we had the guy tuck his tail and go home?
I mean, I think it gives a chance for the young boy Wilson to possibly take that spot. I mean, he played really well in Florida State, so I don't really see why he couldn't. Or the other 2 guys, or the other guy that we have. But I mean, it's free game now. Whoever wanted got it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it definitely opens up the competition. I think it's like you said, I think it's Aniyah Smith or Paris Campbell. I think it's either one of those guys, but you never know. One of these other guys could step up in training camp and be huge and maybe get a promotion there. But I think it's really going to come down to those 2 guys. I'm kind of leaning towards Aniyah Smith just based off the tape I've been seeing. But I mean, like I mentioned, we go off a tape that can change. We saw Nick Sirianni talk about all the tape Kenny Gainwell has out there, and look what we got last year. So I'm not going to base my feelings just off of tape. We got to see it on the field.
The tape that you saw was legitimate tape. The tape that Nick Sirianni saw, I think he might have been hanging out with Tony Khan the night before he saw that tape. And for those of you who watch my wrestling show, you know what I think Tony Khan does all the time. And that's hang out with the clouds, so to speak. He makes white clouds wherever he's at. So he might have been hanging out with him.
We already knew that based off of the interviews that Sirianni gives sometimes. This dude on cloud 9.
Yes. So, I think that might be the tape he saw, which I'm sure when you saw your tape, you were of sound mind. So I trust the tape, but I also have to trust the person who's watching the tape to actually see what's there and not what he's imagining in his possibly heightened euphoric experience. I'm going to leave that there. I feel it. Last commercial break, y'all. Come back. We're going to talk about this Pro Football Focus list. And I'm sure that we have some thoughts on that. It'll be fun.
Cool McCain.
You thought you wanted Gunther against Chad Gable, but you didn't. And I'm going to tell you why. Chad Gable would take everything that Gunther's done and bury it.
The Playmaker.
It was on site. AJ Styles walked out there, seen LA Knight. Oh, okay. Then LA Knight hopped out the car. Let's go.
Break down everything in TNA, AEW, and all of the WWE programming. Join these two kings, monarchs of wrestling, live every Monday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Central on the Play Caller Sports Talk YouTube channel.
Everything Boston. I love you morons. New Kids on the Block, New Edition.
Dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go yourself again, Jason Whitlock.
Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze car.
And ever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crayon they get, they palm it and do 2 circles, and that translates to, I can beat up black people.
As he takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, No, Pacific Time Zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Exclusively on the Chris Bass YouTube channel.
All right, good people, we have returned. So now it's time for the tomfoolery part of the show. So, Pro Football Focus put out quarterback rankings for all 32 presumed starters ahead of the 2024 NFL season. And the reason why I say presumed starters is some of these jobs might not go to who you think they're going to go to. So let's start at the bottom. The very, very bottom, number 32. They have Jarrett Stidham or Bo Nix for the Denver Broncos.
Woof.
I don't have any problem with that. I have no problem at all. Bo Nix is older than I am. And Jarrett Stidham has never been good.
No.
I don't have a problem with that. Why do you have a problem with that? Are you good?
That's perfect.
At number 31, we have Sam Darnold or J.J. McCarthy from the Minnesota Vikings. This is what I'm going to say. I think that's a little low based on the wide receiver talent that they have. But if we're basing this solely on the talent of the quarterbacks, I really have a problem with that ranking. it's at least in the right area. Maybe you feel like they should be, 29 or 30, 31, but they're in the right area. Like they're not that good.
Yeah, I agree. I don't 31 may be a little too strict, but compared to like we get into the next couple, I think it maybe could be up a couple spots.
Too strict for which one? Sam Darnold, JJ McCarthy.
I think JJ McCarthy's probably going to be better than Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold hasn't proven anything.
And JJ McCarthy's not already like in his mid-30s, masquerading
Yeah.
as a,
Yeah, we've seen what JJ McCarthy can do. He seems like he's a decent quarterback.
That's fair. All right, and number 30, we have Aiden O'Connell or Gardner Minshew, both of the Las Vegas Raiders.
That's about right.
Yep.
Yeah, no argument there. Now, this is my first pushback. All the way up at number 29, Daniel Jones
Drop
from New
back.
York Giants. Yeah, I think
That's
we
what
could
I'm
drop
saying. This dude needs to be
back
like 31.
30 and move Darnold McCarthy at least up at 29.
Yeah,
They're at least
back.
better than Daniel Jones.
That's what I was looking at.
Yeah. And this is the holdover tier. So either we're going to get some holdovers or some new guys in their places. That's tier 7, the bottom of the bottom. Don't have a problem with that. I do have a problem with Will Levis at 28 not being included in tier 7. Because Will Levis does not impress me at all. Maybe I'm wrong, but he doesn't impress me at all. You guys' thoughts?
No, I agree.
I agree.
All right. At 27, Jaden Daniels, Washington Commanders. This is a little disrespectful. I think it's a little disrespectful personally. I mean, I don't expect you to put him very high, but this man was the second overall pick in the draft, and the Commanders have a solid wide receiver core and running back, right? So we're saying with all that, 27th. But Daniel Jones is 29th. So you're saying he's a little bit better, just a little bit better than Will Levis? The disrespect.
Yeah.
It's crazy, from my opinion. I mean, others could be fine with it. It's just how I feel about it. What do they do?
I agree.
All right, so 26, Jacoby Brissett, Drake May. What do you think, Wyatt?
I think that it's probably been 27, and Jaden Daniels could have been up to 26. I don't know. I don't know what Drake May is going to be, and we've seen what Jacoby has been able to do in the league, and Patriots don't really have many weapons at all either. That's why I would put the Jaden Daniels and the Commanders over above them.
Number 25. Number one pick from last year, Bryce Young. Diva, I forgot any thoughts on Brissett, Drake May, and then what do you think about Bryce Young?
I mean, Bryce Young that's probably about right, for his first year and being like the team that he had. Maybe he'll go up a little bit more. Drake May, I don't know. I think he should have been a little further down. I mean, he played good in Carolina, but look, so did Sam Howell, and look what happened. So, I mean, I'm just saying, you just
I
don't
don't think
know.
he's going to win that job. I think it's going to be Jacoby Brissett.
Me too.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to win that job. All right, at 24, a guy that did nothing he played last year, in my opinion, Anthony Richardson, Indianapolis Colts. 4 games.
I mean, I don't know. He played all right before he got hurt.
Yeah,
even when you
wait
say
and
it,
see for him because he got hurt. So you really don't know.
right? But even when you say it, you're like, I don't know.
I mean, he played decent though for Indianapolis until he got hurt.
4 games, and he got hurt in the 4th game, so it really wasn't even 4 games. This is a man who,
Yeah.
in the preseason, against our horrible defense, had to play with the second unit as well to get off. I'm just saying, that's the guy we're putting there. That's the guy. Good thoughts, Wyatt?
I don't have much of a problem with it. I think the health is going to be a big question with him, but I think in Indy they have some decent weapons over there, and also Shane Steichen, he knows what he's doing over there. I mean, he took our playbook with him, and we saw him running it all last year, even with Minshew. I think under that system, as long as Richardson's able to stay healthy, I think he'll be decent.
That's fair. That's fair. Now that's tier 6. That's tiers considered the next generation, even though some of those guys that are probably going to play are not the next generation. But I get what they're trying to do with it, so I'll love it for that. All right, and number 23, beginning of the next year, at the bottom of the next year, Deshaun Watson with the Cleveland Browns. This is fair to me because 6 games the past 2 years, he hasn't been able to stay healthy. Your best ability is availability. 1 year is suspension. The next year was health. So we haven't gotten a lot out of Deshaun Watson in Cleveland yet. This could be the year where things change around. But up at this point, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I'm fine with it too.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
we
fair.
really haven't seen much of Deshaun Watson, period, even when he was with Houston. Because then he played that 1 year, and then he sat out, and then he went to Cleveland, and then he got hurt. And it's just something fine with
Yeah, same.
And number 22, we have Russell Wilson - Harris. I'm kidding.
No, man, Russell. It's Russell.
Russell.
It's Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson.
It's Russell
Harris.
Wilson.
I call him Russell Wilson Harris - Harris. Sierra's husband.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm fine with that. I mean, Russell ain't nothing what he was when he was with Seattle, but then he was like that in Seattle because he had a full team and a good coach. But yeah, he about where he's supposed to be, number 22.
Preach. My
Yeah.
sister, preach. You good with it, Wyatt?
Yeah, I'm good with it because I don't think he's going to be staying that starter the whole season, regardless.
I don't think so. He didn't go out there like he was before. And Justin Fields going to be out there running around like a third running back.
Russell Wilson / Justin Fields.
I'm surprised that one wasn't a slash. Number 21, Derek Carr of the New Orleans Saints. What you guys think about that one?
Nah.
I think he should have been lower, but okay.
Yeah, I can understand that. I just don't know who I would have put above him, though. That's the thing.
I mean, I don't have a problem with the range. I probably would have moved them up a spot or two. Once y'all see the next people, you'll see why I say that.
Oh,
At number
God,
20,
yeah.
we've got Baker Mayfield, Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I think Baker too high too. I mean, I don't know. He is with Tampa Bay, but
Yeah, it's the right range. I mean, you might argue a spot or two, but it's definitely the right range.
yeah, it's the right
Yeah.
range for sure.
And this has been tier 5, and these are guys that can single-handedly win and lose games. Those guys that we talked about. I agree with that actually because they can't single-handedly win and lose games.
Yeah, that's a good category to have him under.
It
And
is.
plus, we don't know what else how's he going to evolve off of last season? Because last season was one of his best seasons that he's had in the NFL.
Mhm.
So, can he keep that up, or is he going to regress a little bit?
Great question. Number 19,
Caleb
Williams, Chi-Town.
I don't know, man.
How you gonna put
You
this
know, I'm
man
gonna keep
at
my
19?
comments to myself about Caleb, but
You don't want to get the show banned.
yeah, I don't know. We have to see. I mean, you have to see how you play out there in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
I think he'll be better than Justin Fields.
About the
I
same.
don't think he's going to be better this year. Definitely.
No, this is the Bears we're talking about. The Bears.
The Bears.
Nah.
And
The
he a little
Bears.
soft. I'm sorry, but he's a little
The
soft.
Bears.
Yeah,
Bears.
I've never been
And he-
super sold on him.
wise thing to not be sold on, sir. Dub ears.
Dub ears. Should have been a little lower, though.
So right above him at number 18, the man that never rolled back, Geno Smith, Seattle Seahawks.
Poor Geno. I think he's still a little too high. I mean, in my opinion, he had some decent games, but Geno did not live up to the Geno we thought he was when he was in college. He just didn't. Just didn't.
That's fair, but I feel like around here is what we've gotten based on the good years and the bad years, right? Like, I'm definitely agreeing. Like, a lot of bad years, but he's been a lot better since he's been in Seattle.
I mean, he has, but I mean, he's been hurt a lot of the years, so. But he has been good in Seattle. I mean, he has the time that he's not been hurt. I mean, he's been hurt a lot in Seattle too. So it's hard to tell with Geno.
Mm-hmm.
He can win you games. You know what I'm saying? He can win you games. Yeah. I feel where you're coming from. I definitely do. Wyatt, anything else to add to that one, sir?
I mean, compared to some of the other guys that are above him, I maybe would move him up a spot or two, but I think it's about the right range.
Yeah, the fact that Kyler Murray is ahead of Geno Smith or Caleb Lee.
That's what I was going to say.
Yo, Kyler Murray cares more about Call of Duty than he does being an NFL quarterback. But he's the 17th best. That's a lot of faith in him being a guy that we haven't seen for a consistent season ever, college or pro. I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of faith to put him that high.
He who must not be named as your head coach as well.
I'm just looking at the excuse that they gave, the reason why they put him number 17, that he came back in the last 8 seasons and played decently. And then it says 2021, which was ages ago now, campaign was for MVP caliber with 43 big throws. And that's why y'all put him number 17. I mean, make it make sense here.
Definitely too high.
Yeah.
Jared Goff.
Yep. Now we're at Jared Goff, the Detroit Lions. Goff got his bag.
He did.
He made the team better. About 15 to 16. That's about right for him. Good with that. I'm good with that. What y'all think?
Yeah, I mean, I would probably move him up a couple spots.
That's what I was
over
about
a couple of the other guys that are up above him.
Yeah, especially Kirk Cousins. I mean, my boy disappeared after 1 o'clock, so I don't know.
Don't know. Diva does not have a lot of love for the player Kirk Cousins.
No, I ain't liked him since he was with the Deadskins, Commanders, whatever y'all want to call yourselves now. No,
dude is trash.
Trash.
So yeah, he's at 15 for the Falcons. He'll give you stats, but as Diva already told you, if it's about playoffs, prime time, let's talk to him about playoffs or prime time,
or just winning games.
But
one thing he liked to do was flex.
Oh, go ahead, Diva.
So the only thing he liked to do was flex with chains and grills, like he a different color when he not. And after 1 o'clock, he check out.
Cousins, the white Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
All right, and then at number 14, Tua Tagovailoa, Miami Dolphins. I'm fine with that because a lot of his success is obviously he stayed healthy last year, lost a little weight. He coming in focused, locked, ready to rock, and he got another weapon in OBJ to be his number 3. So I'm high with him at 14.
I think I'd put him a little higher, honestly. I mean, because he's always played good. He just was never healthy.
He had like 3 concussions in one season.
Right. I mean, boy wasn't even healthy in Alabama, so what you expect? But I mean, he's always played good though. It's not like he's, you know what I mean? I don't know. I think he should.
Yeah.
I think I would put him above Brock Purdy. I really would.
I'll
You're
put
just
him
gonna
over
anger
Trevor
a lot of,
Lawrence.
anger a
Yeah.
lot of Jaguars, and 49ers fans with those type of statements, guys.
Who cares?
Number 13, we have Brock. Oh, let me say this right. Brock Purdy, San Francisco 49ers quarterback. Apparently the best quarterback in the NFL, not named Patrick Mahomes, according to 49ers.
Apparently.
fans. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I think that team makes Brock look good. I mean, Brock all right, but I still would have put Tua above Brock. That's just my opinion. When it comes to quarterback playing, decision making, Tua is above that.
I don't have a problem with that. Not a problem with that. Why are you good with that?
I'm good with that. I'm fine with him there.
So up to number 12, we got Sunshine. Himself, Trevor Lawrence.
Hair
Prettiest
commercial
hair
boy.
Nah,
in the
bro.
NFL. No, did he? Prettiest hair, no, did he?
He needs to be back. He needs to be back a little bit.
Yeah, all right. I don't think I'll put him at 12, but he all right.
Yeah, he hasn't had top-notch season yet. We're putting him at 12, like we're saying he's about to break the top 10 here in a year or two, and he really just hasn't had that top-notch season, in my opinion. So I could definitely agree. Could have moved him back a couple of spots, and I wouldn't have been no wiser. All right, then number 11, Jordan Love.
This is crazy. You putting Jordan Love at 11.
Jordan
I
Love
would
is
have.
11.
That's crazy to me. To be honest, I don't like Brock Purdy, but I would have put Brock Purdy ahead of Jordan Love.
I would put Trevor Lawrence ahead of Jordan Love too.
Yeah.
Dude,
I mean, he only
I
had
had
one
one
good
starting
season.
season.
No. This was tier 4. Those were your melting pot of starters. So here's where we're going to start to get into a little bit of disrespect. Okay. At number 10, you've got the rookie of the year, CJ Stroud from the Houston Texans.
I mean, I think that's pretty good for him to be a rookie. I think 10 is. I like that for CJ Stroud. I do.
Yeah, I'm fine
I
with
do
CJ
like
there.
that. Yeah. Now at number 9, we have
Lord have mercy.
Jalen Hurts, the Philadelphia Eagles quarterback.
God pick.
Diva, we're going to start with you on this one.
This is pure blatant disrespect. If you going off of last season because of skinny pants Sirianni, okay, that ain't even right. Like my boy always get jaded on everything. I think last year he was in the low levels. Like my boy, he gets no respect at all, and I don't even know why. Like zero, man. And the boy is amazing. Like even the bad season that we had last year, if you look at his numbers still was almost where they were year before last. So I'm not understanding why they got it. I don't know. I don't even know. To me, he over Aaron Rodgers. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is a good quarterback, but then he old. He didn't play last season, so I don't think he should be number 8. But yeah, the disrespect is real when it comes to Philly and Jalen.
I just feel like, for me, the man is a top 5 quarterback in the NFL, right? You
All
want to
day.
try to take the turnovers and try to make that a reason to put the man at 9, whatever that little crap they put. I didn't even read that crap from Jalen Hurts.
I ain't read it.
Like, I can't even say on air the things I thought when I saw that. I expected it, but it still upset me to see it. You know what I'm saying? It's an emotional time for me, so that could be part of it. But I was very upset when I saw the number. And I think, like, he's the quarterback that gets the most straight disrespect. He can have a great game, a great portion of the season. He can be in the MVP race and they don't even want to mention him, right? They just don't give this man respect. You know what I'm saying? Like, they want to talk about the bad years, but they always want to try to treat the Super Bowl years like an anomaly. That wasn't an anomaly. That was still Jalen Hurts being Jalen Hurts. Y'all got to do better. A whole lot better. All right, so we only did into these last few here. I think that's the one that kind of shocked us all. I'm sure Wyatt agrees with us. You want to add anything, Wyatt?
Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, they talk about when we went over Kyler Murray, they were talking about his MVP like 2021 season. Well, what about Jalen Hurts' MVP 2022 season? If he didn't miss those 2 games, dude was MVP. I mean, he was in the running for MVP half the season last year before everything went downhill. And it's like, you just got to look at the, like, you can easily look at numbers, say, oh, the interceptions, whatever. But this dude, we win games because of Jalen Hurts. Like, that's facts. He makes these final drives look easy. He's winning it with his legs. He's winning it with his arm. He's able to do some of this stuff a lot of these other QBs aren't able to do. And he's winning games because of it. He's the sole reason we were winning some of those games last year when it looked like we were trying to lose a lot of them. So, I mean, it's just blatant disrespect. Like from PFF, from all these, sports commentators, what have you. I just don't get it. I don't understand. I don't know if it's just because it's a Philadelphia thing. People love to hate Philly. But it's outrageous.
And I just got mad when I say number 6. Like, I really just got heated.
So, yeah, we're going to slide through the next. I mean, ain't really too much to say about him. Aaron Rodgers is number 8. I mean, it's fine, whatever. He came off the injury. Number 7 is Matthew Stafford. He should not be above Jalen Hurts.
No.
Number 6 is the black Kirk Cousins. So you put the white Dak Prescott in the teens, but you put the black Kirk Cousins at number 6.
Yeah, never showed up to a playoff game in his life.
My goodness.
Anything else we say about that? Number 5, we got
Justin Herbert.
Here's the thing: Justin Herbert has the one coach
nothing in his life.
No, but here's the thing: Justin Herbert has the one coach that does not care if you're a great thrower of the football. He's going to run the ball 3,000 times this year. Those are the
He's going to have to. They don't have anybody. They have no weapons.
So by number 5, they have no weapons. Tier 3.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't make any sense.
Caliber QBs there. So number 4, they had Josh Allen.
Crazy.
So you have a guy that does everything Jalen Hurts does, but can't run like Jalen Hurts. And you have him at 4, but you got Jalen Hurts at 9.
Yeah.
Number 3, they got
freaking Joe Burrow.
Yeah. Anderson Skywalker. I mean, Joe Burrow. Cincinnati Bengals. That's stat driven. Don't have a problem with number 2. And that's Lamar Jackson from the Ravens.
I don't have a problem with that one.
Together, right? No problem with that one. Elite. That's the elite tier. And of course, they have to have his own tier. The man who has benefited the most from referees in the pockets of his ownership. Eddie Mayonnaise himself.
Cries after every play that doesn't go right for him.
So that's your quarterback tier list from PFF before the season starts. So we'll see how they change things, how things go. We'll check back on their list as we go through the season and see what happens. But a lot of questionable things on that list, but we're going to let it ride because it is what it is. It's preseason. Y'all picking off names and who you love. So that's what it is. So quickly want to shout out Angel Radio, where we popping at 502 American Angel Radio, where you'll be listening to us. If you're listening, please make sure you go over to @Eagles Elite Podcast on YouTube. Hit that sub button, hit that like button, and we would love if you hit that share button as well.
Free way to support the channel.
Absolutely. Shout out to everyone who's tuned in, everyone who has interacted, and those who just want to kind of sit back, kick it, and watch, and let us tell you we're good with that too. So, y'all know at the end of every show what we do. Make sure you tell 4 your friends and also 4 your enemies, because even though they don't like you, they may like us. And it is never where you start. It's always where you finish, even if you have the referee's help. Any last thoughts, Wyatt or Diva?
No, we'll see y'all next week. Talk more Eagles.
Fly.
Fly Eagles fly. Hashtag be elite.
Let's get it. And we didn't even play the intro today because sometimes you gotta switch it up on y'all. Y'all get the intro too much. Y'all be getting greedy. Not for real. We just had to get into the stuff tonight. We're gonna get to the outro. We'll holla. Be back with the same bat time, same bat station next week. Let's go.